Hello, everybody. I'm Ursula Dubosarsky, and I write books for children, and I'm also the Australian Children's Laureate. I'm delighted to be asked to launch this new book from Dirt Lane Press, The Snowman's Wish, written by Sophie Masson and illustrated by Ronak Taher. I've known Sophie as a friend now for over 30 years, and we've in fact beaten out our pathways as writers and mothers, and now even as grandmothers alongside each other. So it's a very special friendship. Sophie is a distinguished and much honoured writer whose contribution to Australian literary culture is immeasurable, both through her many remarkable fictional works for children and adults, but also her unswerving support of other writers in a million ways, certainly as a very generous and thoughtful reviewer, but most publicly perhaps as chair of the Australian Society of Authors and the New England Writers' Centre, as a member of the Australia Council's Literature Board, and lately as founding publisher of the thriving Christmas Press. Sophie is a wise, highly creative, indefatigably curious, open-hearted seeker of justice and meaning in the world, especially through literature. And all of these qualities, I think, are reflected in this magnificent and gentle book. Like all of Dirt Lane Press's books, The Snowman's Wish is elegantly designed and beautifully published, a true artifact to hold in the hand, open, turn the pages, read, and see. The illustrator, Ronak Taher, is an artist and filmmaker based in Melbourne, who's illustrated several books in her native Iran and in Paris, and The Snowman's Wish is her second children's book to be published in Australia. Her illustrations, as you can see, for this snowy story are transporting. Waves of translucent blues and greens, an almost underwater vision of the world, with eternal puppet-like children floating through their experiences in a kind of submerged ecstasy in the natural world. Who is the snowman? And what is his wish? This isn't a snowman who's been built by children, as often in stories about snowmen. This snowman is simply there from the beginning, a slowly melting witness to the joy and busyness of the children's lives, as well as the inexorable movement of nature through the seasons. Now, wishes sometimes do come true, even if not in the form we had imagined. Because Sophie has created, in soft, heart-stirring and poetic prose, a classic story of apotheosis. The lowest and humblest becoming a god, or at any rate something that can seem to us divine, the simplest flower of nature. Adults, like myself, reading The Snowman's Wish, may share the snowman's intense sadness at the end of things. But I don't think children will find it sad. They will find the book full of promise and hope and renewed discovery. In a child's life, change and disappearance are constants, but there's always also the possibility of transformation. I'm going to finish with some lines from the final verse of Shelley's poem, The Cloud, which seemed to me could almost have been written by the snowman himself, or spoken, I should say, by the snowman himself. I am the daughter of earth and water, and the nursling of the sky. I pass through the pores of the ocean and shores. I change, but I cannot die. So, here's to Sophie, Ronak, and the wonderful Dirk Lane Press, and every possible good, beautiful thing to the snowman's wish.